We have some matters with the jury, with two jurors who have tested positive for COVID. And they will not be able to continue. They've confirmed the positive tests by sending them to the clerk of court, who has forwarded copies to me. And I've spoken with each of those jurors, and they are one is symptomatic, and one had a cough and sore throat, and they've both been relieved. So we have two alternates, two alternates that'll become part of the regular panel. So we'll need to do that this morning. Any comment?
Your Honor, and after great consternation, having just gotten over COVID myself over the Christmas holidays, and did a little studying on it. My understanding is that if you've been exposed to somebody with COVID, it can be up to 5 days before you exhibit symptoms. My only concern is that we don't create a train wreck with this jury that's testing negative now, and in an abundance of caution, should we not, and I hate to use the word delay, but that's what it would be, till some health professional will tell us that if they were exposed last Friday when they were together, they would show symptoms or test positive by Tuesday or Wednesday. I mean, I'm not trying to, trust me, it's an economic disaster for us to continue.
We've had a doctor who came and tested them this morning, and who recommends that they be tested again on Wednesday.
So,
she is a doctor who fully understands the CDC guidelines and other precautions, and so your concern is being addressed by the court.
Are you going to keep together between now and Wednesday?
Yes, and we've recommended that they have agreed to wear masks, as everyone in here probably should, other than the essential people who have to talk all the time. But my focus primarily is with the jurors. Of course, our camera person, I noticed they tend to wear masks, and most others do not, and some clerk personnel. Yes, sir.
Your Honor, my only other concern is, well, I understand the clerk of court is out with COVID.
Yes.
And one of her...
And her staff, they've been tested, and they're all negative.
I don't know what to say. I mean, I want to make sure that this, as you do, that this jury does not infect each other, and then we're in a position none of us want to be.
Or infect me or you. We all have that same concern, and the jurors are aware of that, and they have a positive attitude about it, and according to the doctor who administered the test to them this morning.
The last question would be, do you have masks? That I didn't bring a mask. Do we have
masks? I have one right here, and my clerk has one right there, and we have a few others in the back. You're welcome to have one of them if you would like to have it. The clerk staff, she's going somewhere. Are you heading towards masks or something?
Are we good? Yeah. Okay, we're good, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Waters.
Yeah, I was going to echo the same concern that, if we have the two who are released and then we have it kind of spread through those that are remaining, and again, this is not what I want to do at all, if some sort of delay to see what happens, because in talking with the defense as we first heard about these issues, I think we were both in agreement that we would rather, if forced to delay a little bit rather than end up with a mistrial and be unable to continue at all. And that would just be my only point that I would raise at this time. And we could have two. If we go ahead and release them, then we could have some others become symptomatic, and we just have to wait a few days for it to run its course. But that would be my only thought and recommendation. But obviously, you've had a doctor come in here and discuss a course of action.
And Your Honor, we would concur that, and again, trust me, I'm not interested in delaying this at all. But what I don't want is to run the risk that we have a mistrial because they all get COVID or they all get symptomatic. It just seems to me if by Wednesday they'd know it might be prudent to adjourn for a couple of days. And I'm not questioning your decision. I'm just concerned that we not, and if they have masks on, that's great, but when they go back in the jury room to drink the water or have lunch or whatever they're going to do, they'll have those masks off. It's not 100%. I caught COVID the first week of this, the second week of December. It took me 3 weeks to get over it, and I don't want to lose this jury.
We don't want to either. And again, if we were going to do that, I would say then with the two that have tested positive, we would, at least keep them in the bullpen, I guess, until we figure that out or see what happens over the next couple of days.
The two with COVID, they have been released from jury service, and here's the mask carrier is right behind you there. Yeah, fortunately, we selected, wisely selected 6 alternates, and we'll be down to 5 or 4 following 3 following the release of these 2. And of course, we have no way of knowing. We just have to take precautions, as we all do, as we navigate through life during this period of time. And we need 12 to deliberate, so that's the goal. That's why you have alternates. Of course, anytime you have a trial that's protracted, that goes on and on and on and on, then you run the natural risk of attrition, which we are experiencing now. Be it COVID or some other problem, the longer we stay here, the longer something will happen to various folks involved.
All I say about how long this is going on, I'm reminded of a quote from Jerry Spence, the famous trial lawyer in the Silkwood case. In that case, which went not much longer than we are, he said, "We began this trial in the winter, we finished it in spring. I thought we would grow old together." So I'm beginning to feel much like Mr. Spence, but hopefully we can finish the state's case this week and we can begin our case.
Yes. With regard to selection of the next 2 jurors to become part of the 12, the clerk has placed the juror numbers of the remaining jurors in a box. And statute requires that they be selected. I think the word is by lot. Any objection to a clerk, member of the clerk staff, selecting the next 2?
No objection, Your Honor.
Okay, Your Honor.
All right, if you will pull number 1, Madam Clerk. All right, and you can tell us what juror number it is.
Juror number 441.
Number 441 becomes a member of the regular panel. And the next one?
Juror 326.
Number 326 will become.
No, juror numbers of those that were excused.
Yes, of course. The jurors who have now been excused, juror 220.
220.
Is that correct, Madam Clerk? Yes, sir. 220 and 528.
528.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Waters and I are responding as this develops, and I'm not trying to, it's a joint concern. We have a huge gallery out here. Are we exposing ourselves to more risk by having them there?
Yeah, probably so.
Having brought that to your attention,
Well, would you like me to issue a mask mandate for everyone in the courtroom? Other than witnesses who are testifying and people who have to speak openly in court, like the judge and lawyers?
Yeah, I think it would mitigate it.
Well, and aside from a mask mandate, we might, have a little bit of social distancing, a little less numbers might be warranted. I mean, none of us want to limit anything, but we're in a different paradigm, and both of us have a concern about getting this thing to the end without it, COVID causing it to fall apart. And that's the paramount concern for both the state and the defense and the court, I know.
And Your Honor, half our alternates are gone now. Half our alternates are gone. We're 3 weeks in, 3 jurors down. At this rate, we could have a problem.
We need to have somebody give a little thermometer thing at the door.
We'll leave all that with the clerk staff. They are able to monitor that, I believe. I'm not going to order any social distancing. It will mean we cannot order any social distancing with the jurors. Of course, when COVID came in initially, we reversed the courtroom and had the jurors seated in the audience, and that was our means of keeping them socially distanced. I think we can require masks because people who are in the audience are here for the most part of their own volition, and they can watch it all on TV if they do not wish to wear masks. But I'm not going to order any social distancing, and for the moment we're going to encourage everyone here to mask up for your own protection as well as the protection of these proceedings and of each other. And then we'll explore how far we need to go with that as the day progresses.